What was the point of writing all this? I have felt a burning compulsion to write the truth as it has been revealed to me. Many prefer the delusions, but I am one among many who are offering reality for those who choose to see it. Crawling back into this headspace after the nightmare of the last 3 to 4 years was no mean feat. I hope that I am stronger for it, but I spent a lot of time mourning the time I lost trusting people who refused to accept and adapt. Things fell into place when I realized that people did not truly mean stay and fight to win, but stay and fight because we enjoy fighting. That was when I decided that it was time to back away for good, and why I have continued to be relatively disengaged. People wonder about the accountability of walking away because it is human nature to defend oneself. However, there is a point in time when defense means protecting one's energy and understanding the nature of sunken costs. I used to believe in reconciliation no matter how much it costs. Other people believed in returning aggressions, and usually for good reason. I now understand the truth. People cannot reconcile with maladaptive people who demand the right to be superior and will enforce that right regardless of the consequences. They will undermine every effort for equilibrium because they only understand contention, chaos, and control. Many like to smugly argue that BIPOC targets just need to be patient. Unless those people intend to restore our finances, career paths, relationships, and fertility, they are demanding the right to control our lives by playing into their insecurities. If it takes people forever to do the right thing, they never thought they had to change their behavior, and they never thought that they would get caught. White people questioning their existentialism is no longer interesting to me. People do not seem to understand that the whole point of advocacy and activism is that people want an injustice to stop. They think people crave all the attention because that seems to be their only goal after doing absolutely nothing to change anything. Receiving attention and praise is not activism because most activists receive neither. There are some tokens that are kept around for photo ops and meeting legitimacy, but most are punished with derision, poverty, and or death. Advocacy seems to have devolved into justifying people's right to existence to those intent on disrespecting it. This dominant narrative work is not about solving racism, but coercing the targets into internalizing racism. Respectability politics make targets feel like we are not doing enough, nicely enough, neatly enough, or wearing the right clothes. Accountability advocacy notes the patterns of abusers, and abusers intentionally respond poorly to any recognition that abuse is irrational. I hear a lot of people arguing that people were learning and love is stronger than hate, and other cliches that amount to BIPOC dehumanizing ourselves instead of respecting our honest response to poor behavior. Know this. If social cognition has not clicked in enough for people to understand that they are not entitled to the right to control others by 2025, it is not going to happen, not for any substantial period of time. If someone knows that some action causes pain and continues to do it once informed, what is there to assume except that such a person enjoys causing pain? People have spent a lot of time and energy, as well as other resources, trying to get maladaptive people to change. If someone is incapable of change, they need to stop entertaining themselves with the pain of BIPOC activists. People like that are not doing the work or evolving. They're getting off on the power not to change. Some people wonder about being down with the struggle. A reasonable thought is this. In a world of multiple billionaires, the only reason people are struggling is because abusive people refuse to either share or manage their insatiable greed. Abusive people are generally maladaptive, and they demand that there are no voices against them that have any prominence, regardless of their side of the aisle. No one should give them airtime, but they own the airwaves to make sure that they propagandize everyone. Thus, no one should be down with the struggle because people should be appropriately disgusted with people who demand dominance, regardless of their own powers and capabilities. The real reason that nobody can rest is because those accepted by the dominant narrative cannot be sated. What I've learned about the abuse dynamic is that it only ends when the target leaves. Therefore, continuing to try and fight is a recipe for exhaustion. As for black people, we have finally gotten to the point where our appointed roles are no longer acceptable, but everyone keeps manically trying to stuff us back in our place, angry at our resistance. Fortunately for us, we have realized that for those who earnestly believe that people should have to go through them as some kind of barrier to prove our worth, all we have to do is ignore them for the spell to be broken. We finally understand that when we are hurt by people, we should check to see if they would care if we showed them that they hurt us. If we no longer feel safe, we express within our own community and among those with whom we feel safe. Post-racial would mean that there was no retaliation for calling out racist white behavior, especially as black people are actively stalked for wrongdoing. For those who want to waste everyone's time and energy with not all, demographer Stephanie would like to remind them that 1, anomalies are not trends, and 2, it is statistically impossible to spend a substantial amount of time around anti-racist in a racist system. If people are only fragile or vulnerable after abusing and exploiting people of color, maybe those types should not have power they cannot manage, but really, they just seem like creeps looking for an excuse. Those who keep telling people to wait for the world to change and expect grace and patience instead of changing are actually manipulators. Most community engagements stop because BIPOC responders stop being compliant in our responses and praising pictures. Apparently, our voices are only wanted if we stroke the egos of our oppressors, and that was untenable after a while. Just like people do not understand a world they do not control, they also cannot comprehend a world where BIPOC residents are not constantly struggling to be seen as human beings. No one can penetrate such a mindset, and we need to stop trying. The reality is that no one seems to believe that white people should sit still while being attacked by everyone without remorse, just us. It is emotionally unhealthy to maintain dialogue with people who expect you to stay calm while they attack and denigrate you.